Hey guys, welcome to the channel, it's Irad. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, a little bit less formal. I want to talk about some of my impressions about what's coming up with Star Citizen. Last week, a ton of things have been revealed, a lot of news to process. We're going to talk about the PTU, we're going to talk about the teleporting to party leader idea, we're going to talk about the DefenseCon Buildup, and also no Citizencon for this year. I'll put all the timestamp so you're going to be able to check for every part that you want to check. Let's go, let's get started right now. But before that, guys, we have a giveaway this month. I'm giving away 3 prizes. I'm giving away a Golem aUEC. You'll find the link to GLEAM in the description down below. For people who subscribe to the channel and comment to any videos posted this month, I'm giving away an Aurora Mark II. And if you are a Patreon or YouTube member, in addition to getting automatic access for the Aurora, you can also have access to an exclusive Atlas Geo. Alright guys, let's get started. Let's talk about Star Citizen Alpha 4.8 PTU. It's been a while since I have last tried a PTU that much. I have tried a lot of missions. I have tried to see if the servers were more stable than in 4.7. Yes, they are, at least from my own experience. And overall, it seems that we're going to be making steps towards the right direction into having a more stable experience with less crashes to desktop, also less 30k errors. Hopefully, what we have seen in the PTU is going to transcribe into the PU as well. There are also a lot of features that, in my opinion, really shine here. I really like some of the new missions that we have in the game, including the defending base against some NPCs that are going to be targeting fuel depots, which is like a reverse of the mission that we have where you actually have to destroy those fuel depots. It was really interesting to be on the other side. I am so happy that the new Korea missions are back. Hopefully this time they are going to be working, right? Because in 4.7.2 they're not working. It is something that CIG developers have said that they're working into. We've got some confirmation on Spectrum that they are aware of the situation, and hopefully 4.8 is going to resolve that issue. But the problem is that we're not going to be able to pick as many Korea missions as we want, because now 4.8 is going to bring hard limits, which is going, in this case, going to be 10 per player. I love the flight suits. I love the idea that pilots are going to be really specializing in piloting ships and not just being a trooper, having some heavy armor and then go into the pilot seat. I mean, technically it is going to be possible, but the G-force, the impact of G-force is going to be absolutely devastating. If you don't want to have any G-force impact and blackout, you're gonna have to wear those flight suits. And I think that this brings the next question here. When are suit lockers going to be functional in the game? Right now, we can put the suits in the ship inventory eventually, right? So it's something that can work, but it's not really practical. Like if the suits were practically in that suit locker, just open it and equip your suit just like that, it will be so much better in my opinion. But at least we're getting there with ship inventory. It's almost like we have our suit lockers. I did not get to try the new tactical strike groups, unfortunately, because you need to have a certain degree of reputation to have to play tactical strike groups. And the problem is that CIG are resetting reputation every time that there is a new patch in the PTU. Reputation is being reset, inventory is being reset, and I think that when they are bringing new missions that are involving a certain degree of reputation, I think that CIG need to, just for the time being, maybe lower the threshold of reputation so that players can be able to test it, or at least make it so that you don't lose your reputation patch after patch. Some constructive criticism here that I hope CIG can work on, because it's not going to be the first one, it's not going to be the last one also that we are going to have missions like that are gated by reputation. This is something that CIG wants to do more and more, and I can only imagine that missions are going to be requiring even higher reputations in the future are going to be needed such a system as well. Also, if you are a fan of the Perseus, but you did not buy a Perseus with real money, you are going to be able to buy a Perseus with real money in Star Citizen Alpha 4.8. It is available now for 39 million Alpha aUEC. That is a lot of money. All right, next, after that, I'm going to talk about something that the devs have mentioned that is something that could be happening in the verse, because they did mention that they are aware that players don't have so much time to play. Not everybody's got time for a 3-hour mission. Some people just have 30 minutes. Sometimes that's my case. You know, when I record those videos, I edit the videos, I upload everything, I only have 30 minutes left. So for that, CIG are contemplating the idea of teleporting players to the party leader. Now, this is something that Elite Dangerous is doing, and I think that it has been doing it quite well. But I think that also a method like this needs to have a couple of safeguards, right? For example, it would look really weird if players just appear out of the blue right now. I think that ships perhaps would need to have special locations where players could respawn. This is perhaps where CIG could do something with ship beds, so players could spawn on the ship beds of the party leader, especially if the party leader has a lot of beds. Let's say it's a Polaris, for example, that would work quite well. And I think that this could also be limited to the amount of beds that a ship has. So let's say, for example, you are on a C1 Spirit. I believe the C1 Spirit only has 2 beds, right? So that means that only one person could teleport to the party leader. But if the party leader is flying a Polaris, then obviously that could be more people. I think this could be a great way to avoid abuses, so that everybody would just end up in the same ship, and it would be weird. And if there's like one particular place where players could respawn, and maybe it would add a little bit more of a role-playing element, I think that these has got to be the player beds. Okay, next, let's talk about DefenseCon Buildup. DefenseCon is coming this week. I'm really excited about it. Every time we get tons of new reveals, and this time it's a little bit different, right? It's not Invictus Launch Week, which apparently has been sent to the Sol system. This time it's sponsored by Drake Interplanetary, and of course it is, because the Ironclad is coming. Now, there are rumors that the Ironclad could be flyable for owners as early as tomorrow, by the time I'm releasing this video, so that should be really exciting. But there are also a ton of new ships that have been released, including, for example, the Aegis Tiburon. The Aegis Tiburon, described by Jared as a shark with a freaking laser head. It's basically the Hammerhead, but with the Idris laser, or some kind of laser, the same type of the Idris on its top. From the looks of it, it doesn't look like it has the same amount of turrets, so perhaps this is a ship that's going to be really focused on offense and is not going to have that many defensive capabilities as a result. Also, we have a new ship from Origin. It's been a long time since we've had a new ship for Origin, and it looks like the M is going to become a series. We got the M50, which is of course the light interceptor, which has been turned into a racer, and now the M series has got a second entry, the M80, which is branded as a heavy fighter. It seems like the M80's got 4 weapons. These seem to be size 4. People have been also reporting that there could be 2 size 5s and 2 size 4. I guess that we'll see what kind of configuration. Are there going to be variants, perhaps? Is it going to be able? Are we going to be able to swap the weapons, or are these going to be bespoke? Unfortunately, we don't know yet, and we're going to have to wait. As far as the looks are concerned, I'm a bit mixed here because I really like the front of the ship, but I'm not sure about the back. This ship's got a really clear wedge style, so it's quite different from the other heavy fighters that we have in the game. Some people said that it looked more like a Kruger ship than an Origin ship. I would disagree with that. I think that it looks quite similar to the M50 and the 85X, some of the smaller Origin ships. Also, Origin, which should be pronounced Origin, by the way, is of a German ancestry, just like Kruger as well, so maybe that's why they have this kind of look. Could be a cultural thing. Okay, next we've got the MISC Starlight. Now, MISC is always famous for doing industrial ships, and the Starlight is a refueler. So it's really a small refueler, much smaller than the Starfarer. People are saying that the Starlight is actually going to be able to go onto the hangar of a Polaris, so it's going to be that small actually. I think that the Starlight is going to be a perfect ship for any of the new refueling missions that are coming up in Star Citizen Alpha 4.8. But it's not going to be a great ship for large-scale operations. That's where the Starfarer is going to be. So, for example, with the Rat Club, sometimes we do patrol missions around the NIC system. These are extremely fuel-consuming, so we do need a Starfarer to refuel our fighters, and it's very practical. So the Starfarer's got a lot of fuel on board, so we don't need to go back to Levski to refuel the Starfarer. We just go from one place to another and we refuel our fighters, whatever we need. I don't think the Starlight is going to be able to do that. I think the Starlight is going to be able to focus on single fighters who are about or going to be or are stranded in this case, whether these are players or NPCs, and that's going to be it. So that's really going to differentiate the Starlight and the Starfarer. Moving on to the next ship, it's the Drake Pitbull. Now, I'm a big fan of snub fighters. Definitely that is going to be a snub fighter. I think it's very convenient here that the Pitbull is coming out at the same time as the Ironclad, and especially the Ironclad Assault. We have learned that the Ironclad Assault is going to benefit from the new ship service tech that is coming to Star Citizen Alpha 4.8. That means that it is going to be able to refuel, rearm, and repair the ships that are on its hangar. And it looks like, given its size, the Pitbull is going to be a perfect snub fighter that is going to fit perfectly inside the Ironclad Assault. The Pitbull is said to be even smaller than the Fury, which is already quite a small ship. I really love how it's got this massive thruster at the back, and the Pitbull apparently is going to have 6 weapons because it's Drake, right? Drake always tries to put more in the smallest hull as possible. I don't expect these weapons to be massive weapons here. These are probably going to be either size 1s or size 2s, or maybe a combination of size 1 and 2. I think that it would be quite dangerous for CIG to really overpower the Pitbull, because then what would be the point of having a Fury, right? It would completely render the Fury obsolete. Both of these ships are not very durable anyway, so since the Pitbull even has more weapons, I think it would be making sense here to make it even less durable than the Fury. Really a flying glass cannon, people would say, and I think that would be a perfect role. But again, if there's an Ironclad nearby and you can go there and repair and rearm, I think that again it makes a viable option, especially if there are lots of pilots who can fly this ship. Last ship here that I want to talk about is the Odin. Now, I was really excited to learn about the new upcoming battleship, or battlecruiser, coming to Star Citizen. I was not expecting CIG to really make it look like an actual battlecruiser. I mean, like an old-fashioned battlecruiser. I was expecting something to look a bit more, sci-fi-ish. But by the looks of it, it looks like the old the Yamato, from World War II, that Japanese dreadnought. That's what it looks like, and I have mixed feelings about having this retro looks in a futuristic type of game. I was hoping for something a bit more wedge-shaped. It looks very thin. And it looks like it's instead of being built horizontally, it looks like it is built vertically, and that is something that I was really not expecting. What I was expecting though were the massive guns that are of course on the ship, right? It is a capital ship killer, a capital ship designed to attack other capital ships, so that's not really a surprise here. It's just I feel a bit uneasy with the overall looks of the Odin. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know that before I was feeling a bit bad about probably not being able to afford the Odin because it's expected to be extremely pricey, right? Even more expensive than the Javelin, obviously. But now that I see that, I'm not so sure. I guess maybe we'll be grinding it with Wikilo if that's a thing. Like we can grind an Idris with Wikilo, but I'm not sure I'll be buying an Odin. I'll probably be spending money on other things. Alright, last, let's talk about Citizencon, or I should say the lack of Citizencon. That is something that Jared said in the last episode of Inside Star Citizen. It was confirmed that indeed there would be no Citizencon this year. They said that the devs would like to focus on the release of Star Citizen, of the next iteration of Star Citizen, and especially, of course, the release of Squadron 42, which Jared still confirmed that Squadron 42 is still scheduled for release this year. I guess that they are going to be probably waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. That is, of course, the elephant in the room, right? We still don't know exactly if Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6 is going to be releasing or not, but what we know is that it's probably going to be taking all the attention of the gaming media, and this is something that CIG would like to avoid. They would like to get, you know, a share of that attention as well, so that they get more publicity. Squadron 42 is really the make or break game for CIG. They really need the game to be successful because it's going to really secure their legacy and their credibility for the gaming audience in the eyes of the backers, but also in the eyes of the people who have been calling the whole project a scam. Now, Jared did say that there will be no Citizencon. He did not say whether or not there will be something else. And if indeed Squadron 42 releases this year, I cannot believe that there would not be anything else. I think that there is probably going to be some kind of a video event, maybe a little showcase, right? That's probably what it's going to be. It's going to be called something else. It's not going to be called Citizencon, but there are definitely going to be some special episodes, special videos that are going to be marking the release of Squadron 42. Guys, CIG have been working on this for over a decade. I'm an original backer. I backed for both the PU and also Squadron 42 back in 2012. I cannot believe that after all these years, when they finally release Squadron 42, there will not be any kind of event to celebrate. That would be so lackluster, and that would be such a bad message showing that they're not believing in their project, that I cannot believe that is not going to be happening. There's obviously going to be something else. It's just not going to be Citizencon. It's going to be a different format that is yet to be announced and revealed. If that's not the case, if there's nothing, I am willing to eat my hat right here. That is how convinced I am. Anyway, guys, that is all for this video. Let me know what you guys think about what else we're going to be having instead of Citizencon. Are you excited for DefenseCon? What about 4.8? Have you tried it in the PTU? What are your concerns, or are you optimistic about it? I want to know everything. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. As always, a big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members, including Dr. Frobin, Zero Crusher, W2 Ducker, Shadow Rise, and Sokar Tarcisius. I've been Iran, and I'll see you guys in the next one.